We're in Cannes to shoot the final sequence. It all culminates in the screening of my film at the Cannes Film Festival.
Cannes and the festival were very good to us, actually, and I hope the film does good for them.
We were given permission by Gilles Jacob, the president of the festival, to use an actual premiere of another film to put Emma Ducombe, Willem Dafoe and Carol Roden and Max, who plays Stefan, onto the red carpet. It was very good of them to do that. I don't think they've ever done that before. So he turns this way, Carson, off we go.
Gilles Jacob, who runs the festival, was enchanting, and he likes the idea of Bean and the character and the films and working title. So he was incredibly welcoming, and they've helped in every single way they possibly could. Just to do a tiny bit of a sequence at the base of the red carpet, where we cheekily just sort of jumped on the back of a Portuguese film.
And I think Rowan felt, well, if you're going to have a film festival, and what film festival do most people know about, then it would only be Cannes.
We did feel it was important to be there doing the real thing. Indeed, the Cannes Festival wanted it to be the real thing, because always the worry for them is if we go to, to another seaside town, it wouldn't be accurate, which it could not be 100% accurate.
And it was really exciting because nobody really knew that we were shooting a movie, and people know me a little in France, so they were saying, "Hey, Emma," and I was like, "Oh no, I'm Sabine."
Willem just has come into it so generously and openly, and we gave him a girlfriend who was about 10 feet higher than he was to walk up the red carpet.
We had 45 minutes to do our thing, and we couldn't use Rowan, so Rowan was a double in the car. But we really wanted to grab some explanatory shots of them going up the red carpet effectively. But the real story is behind the Palais, which is where we are now. And what's happened is that their fiendish plan to go in disguise has failed. And so they're fashioning a plan, even as we speak, to get past the officialdom, which will fail, of course. And they finally do get in. They get in mainly by running in.
I don't think that the authorities in Cannes were remotely worried that we were going to spoil their reputation or their image. It was a little bit satirical, about the sort of nonsense of it and the pretentiousness of some of the film product that is seen there. And we have we have some jokes about that towards the end, but they're extremely oblique and extremely gentle. So they were happy to have us there. And we were very happy to be there, and it was great in particular to be in their main auditorium, shooting the scenes that we shoot there. What you see is the real deal.
This is the main auditorium in the Palais. Bean has found his way in here to try and connect Stefan back to his parents, and is dressed as a woman at this stage, which is quite fantastic, actually.
Because my scene.
The great silent comedians, for me, always played with the idea of cinema. And so I thought, if we're going to set it in the 21st century and somebody goes on holiday, what do they take? They take a camera with them, but, in this day and age, it'll be a digital camera.
You are now in the arms of another.
You can't go anywhere now on holiday for a weekend, a day out, We've all got the camcorder going, and it seemed to be a fun way to get into sort of Bean's mind, that he's both on this journey and he's recording this journey. And then, because you're going to the south of France, that seemed to be a wonderful opportunity for one of those sort of high conceit concoctions where basically Mr. Bean's holiday video ends up on the screen in Cannes. And you work the steps for that to work out, and I think it works very well, that it's gloriously absurd, but it sort of works, and it has that sort of emotional payoff at the end.
One of the most complex scenes is we're taking over and hopefully not opening us up to a sort of general municipal disaster, but we've taken over the equivalent of 3 public beaches on the Croisette, where we'll be filming for 2 days, the final sequence.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, stop.
There are very simple stages of child development, and I used that when I first wrote the story, the idea of different events happening and each one taking him a little step further down the road to some sort of emotional development by the end. And he has actually got close to the boy who's really annoying at the beginning, by the end becomes a real friend, the girl, who he doesn't really seem to fancy. And yet there is some sort of bond that happens between him and the girl. And so you get to a point that all of these fictions come together, and he manages to solve everything, which allows this moment of release where he arrives on the beach and he's finally got there, and having finally got there, earned a moment where everyone can break into song together in the most absurd way.
It's a light story, but it has heart.
It is a kickback to the great days of silent cinema.
Like you say, from 7 to 77?
To me, it's a classical comedy movie.
One day people will look back and go, that's really special.